Hello viewers, both young and perhaps not so young. This is the first episode of what we hope will become a new series of 13 episodes of the Trumptonshire Project. You probably know and love the original series that was first broadcast on British TV way back in the 60s and 70s. Dear me, that was a long time ago. Camberwick Green, Trumpton and Chigley. This new project is a fan-made creation where we'll attempt to recreate the beauty, artistry and unique look, sound and feel of the original children's TV series that's so beloved by the generations of people who grew up watching the shows. We hope you'll find enjoyment and a warm nostalgia as you watch what we've created, and we look forward to sharing all the new adventures and stories from Trumptonshire's wonderful characters and community. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And now, together, let's watch this first episode, which is entitled The Letter, and which features Chippy Minton's charming wife, Mrs. Dora Minton. Roll the tape. Here is a box, a musical box, wound up and ready to play. But this box can hide a secret inside. Can you guess what is in it today? It's Mrs. Minton. Hello, Mrs. Minton. Is that a letter you have there? Oh, yes, that's right. Nibs is away for a week in Wintlebury, isn't he? Stopping with some friends, I believe. Is the letter for him? Are you off to post it? May we come with you? It's a lovely sunny morning, Mrs. Minton. Now, first things first, remember to close the front door. Now, have you got everything you need in your basket? Yes? Excellent. Right then, off we go. It's lovely and cool walking under the trees along the Trumptonshire country lanes. The birds are singing their summer songs, and the sheep and cows in the fields are lazily chewing the cud and batting away the flies with their tails. Mrs. Minton enjoys her morning walks. There's nothing quite like Trumptonshire, and she feels very lucky to live here. The countryside is in full bloom, and everywhere is green and bursting with growth. The air is filled with the scent of summer, and the hedgerows are full of ripe fruits and berries. Mrs. Minton has stopped her stroll. What is she up to? Oh, I see. She's decided to pick some berries along the edge of Farmer Bell's field. Last week, Chippy fixed Farmer Bell's old barn doors, and he did a very fine job. Farmer Bell was most pleased. Farmer Bell said you're welcome to pick the fruit from his bushes, didn't he, Mrs. Minton? Are the berries going into one of your famous pies, Dora? One of Chippy's favourites? Are you going to bake one for him as a surprise? What's that noise? Oh, it's Farmer Bell on his tractor. Hello there, Mrs. Minton, says Farmer Bell. I wanted to say thank you again to Chippy for the fine job he's done on my barn doors. They're straight and true now, and the hinges are squeak-free. No more rattles in the wind and no more drafts either. The old cow is very pleased, and so is my wife. Mrs. Minton says she's very pleased that Farmer Bell is happy with Chippy's work. She tells him she's going to make a pie as a surprise for Chippy, and she just picked a nice lot of berries for the filling. Pick as much as you like, says Farmer Bell. The bushes are piled with fruit. Enough for 2 pies, perhaps? Mrs. Minton gets the hint and laughs. Of course, Farmer Bell. I'll make 2 pies and send one round for you and Mrs. Bell to enjoy. Farmer Bell is very pleased and thanks Dora. He says he has lots of work to do in his field and so he must get on. Goodbye, Mrs. Minton. I'll look forward to that pie. It's still very early, and nearer Trumpton, in Hardwick Street, there are not many people up and about just yet. But Mrs. Minton spies someone heading up the road towards her. It's Mr. Tripp, in his electric milk float, busy out on his very early morning milk round. Good morning, Mrs. Minton. You're up and out early today? Yes, says Mrs. Minton. I have a letter to post, and a few other errands I want to get done. Ah, yes, says Mr. Tripp. Early mornings are a wonderful time.
I'm always up at 4 a.m. and out on my float by 5, come rain or shine.
Now, let me see. Number 46, Mr. and Mrs. Harris. That's 1 pint of Silvertop and 1 bottle of sterilised.
Oh, that reminds me, says Mrs. Minton.
I wonder if you'd add an extra pint of milk and a half dozen eggs when you pick up my empties, Mr. Tripp. I'm making an extra berry surprise pie, so I shall be needing 2 extra milk and eggs.
1 extra pint and a half dozen eggs? Certainly, Mrs. Minton. I've 2 more roads to deliver to here in Trumpton, and then it's on to the fire station, and then out to yours and Mrs. Cobbett's cottage. I shall leave them on your step as usual.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Tripp, Dora says. Now, I'd best let you get on, or else people would be left waiting for milk for their breakfast tables.
Goodbye, Mr. Tripp,
says Mrs. Minton. Cheerio, Mrs. Minton. And off Mrs. Minton goes, leaving Mr. Tripp to continue his rounds.
In Trumpton Town Square, Mrs. Minton stops to chat with Mrs. Cobbett, the flower seller.
Good morning, Mrs. Cobbett. How's business today, she asks. Very good, my dear. I sold lots of blooms so far. Some red roses for Miss Lovelace's shop, yellow tulips for the town hall's reception, and of course a red carnation for the mayor's buttonhole.
That's good to hear, says Mrs. Minton. I'm on my way to post a letter, and I've collected a nice lot of berries for a pie I'll be baking this afternoon. Ooh, lovely. I do like fresh berries, says Mrs. Cobbett.
Here you are, Mrs. Cobbett, says Dora. Have some of these for your mid-morning snack.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I do get very peckish while selling my flowers.
Well, I must be on my way, Mrs. Cobbett, says Mrs. Minton. I have my letter to post and pies to bake. A very busy day for me.
Goodbye. Goodbye, my dear, says Mrs. Cobbett. And off Dora goes. In Murray Road, Dora finally arrives at the bright red post box. She takes out the letter and checks that everything's in order. Name and address on the front and clearly written? Yes. Good, good. Envelope stuck down and sealed tightly? Yes. Splendid. Postage stamp licked and stuck neatly in the corner? No. Oh, no stamp. Dora's forgot about the stamp. Oh, dear me, says Dora. Well, the letter has to have a stamp or else the postman can't deliver it. And if you haven't a stamp, then you can't post the letter. What can Dora do? Dora considers walking back into Trumpton to ask Mrs. Cobbett if she has a stamp she could have. Or Mr. Clamp, the greengrocer, or Mr. Munnings, the printer. They might have one, thinks Dora. As Mrs. Minton is deciding what she should do, post office telephone engineer Mr. Wantage pulls up in his van. "Hello, Mrs. Minton. You're looking rather concerned. Is anything wrong?" asked Mr. Wantage. "Oh, Mr. Wantage, I have a letter I need to post, but I've not got a stamp, so I can't post it now. You wouldn't happen to have a stamp I could have, would you?" "No, sorry, Mrs. Minton, I don't. I've got tools and wires, transistors and capacitors, but I'm fresh out of stamps, I'm afraid." "Oh, dear," Mrs. Minton repeats. Mr. Wantage thinks, and then has an idea. "I say, I'm on my way back to the exchange to collect some 8mm cables. I'll be passing Camberwick Green, and they have a post office and a post box. You can get your stamp and post your letter there and then. I can give you a lift in my van." "Oh, yes, thank you so much, Mr. Wantage. That's so very kind of you." "No trouble at all, Mrs. Minton. Hop in," says Mr. Wantage, "and we'll be on our way." In no time at all, they arrive in Camberwick Green. Mrs. Minton thanks Mr. Wantage as he drives off to the telephone exchange to collect his cables. Now Mrs. Minton can buy a stamp from the post office and post her letter. Inside, Mrs. Minton says hello to Mrs. Dingle, who runs the post office. Next to her is Packet, Mrs. Dingle's puppy, wagging his tail happily. "Hello, Mrs. Minton," says Mrs. Dingle. "And how can I help you this morning?" "Well," says Mrs. Minton, "I have a letter to post, but I need a stamp for it, you see, or else I won't be able to send it." "I see," says Mrs. Dingle. "One postage stamp, is it?" "Yes, please," says Mrs. Minton. Mrs. Dingle gets a stamp from under her counter. She licks the back of the stamp to make it sticky, and then she presses it into the corner of Mrs. Minton's envelope. "There you are, Mrs. Minton. One stamped addressed envelope." "Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Dingle. Oh, by the way, Chippy's woodworking magazine has been delivered. You may as well collect it while you're here," says Mrs. Dingle. "It was delivered this morning, along with Mrs. Honeyman's Gossip Weekly magazine." "Yes, that's a good idea," says Dora. "It'll save Chippy a trip. Thank you." "Now," says Dora, "I shall pop my letter in the post box ready for the morning collection." "Oh, I'm afraid you've missed the morning collection, Mrs. Minton. Peter the postman was here not 5 minutes ago. He's dropped off those parcels and emptied the post box already." "Oh dear," says Mrs. Minton. "I wanted my letter to go this morning, so Nibs receives it quickly. What am I to do now?" "Well, just a minute," says Mrs. Dingle, and she walks to the window to check something. "Ha! I guessed as much. Mrs. Minton, you're in luck. Come and look." "Oh," cries Mrs. Minton, "it's the postman, and he's still here." "That's right," says Mrs. Dingle. "This often happens. He's run into Mrs. Honeyman, and now she's telling him all the latest gossip, whether he likes it or not." "Oh, well, if I hurry, I can catch him up and ask him to pop my letter in his sack." "Well, there's no need to hurry, Mrs. Minton," says Mrs. Dingle. "Peter won't be going anywhere any time soon." "Well, thank you again for the stamp, Mrs. Dingle, but I must dash now before Mrs. Honeyman finishes with Peter." "Glad to be of service," says Mrs. Dingle, as Dora trots out of the post office in pursuit of the postman. Mrs. Honeyman is halfway through telling Peter a long story about one of the wives at Trumpton's weekly cake baking event, and how dry the scones were that Mrs. Trickle had baked. She needed to add more butter and put them on a lower heat to bake, but of course she's new to baking, but she didn't want to take my advice, even though Dora gently interrupts with a cough. "Morning, Mrs. Honeyman. Morning, Peter," says Dora. "Oh, hello, Mrs. Minton. I was just talking to Peter about the Trumpton Park cake event." "Yes, I heard," said Dora, and continued before Mrs. Honeyman could carry on. "Mrs. Honeyman, I've just been in the post office and Mrs. Dingle says your magazine has been delivered this morning. Oh, Mrs. Honeyman squealed excitedly. My magazine! I shall go and collect it now. I've a letter published in this week's issue about the overhanging tree branches along the canal path near Wingsted Hall. They really need trimming back before they take someone's eye out. I'm so sorry, Peter. I shall have to go now. We can continue our chat tomorrow. No, that's not a problem, says Peter. You carry on, Mrs. Honeyman. Good morning to you, Peter. And good morning, Mrs. Minton, says Mrs. Honeyman. And to Peter's great relief, Mrs. Honeyman hurried off to the post office to collect her magazine. Phew. Thank you for rescuing me, Mrs. Minton. I do like to chat to Mrs. Honeyman in the morning, but she does get so involved in her stories that I'm soon running late on my round. That's okay, says Mrs. Minton. Peter, I missed the post collection this morning, and so I wanted to ask you to add my letter to your sack, if that's not too much trouble. No, that's quite all right. Pop it in here and I shall be on my way. I'll have to pick up my pace now, so I don't think I'll have time for my 10 o'clock break this morning. Would you like some fruits and berries to snack on? Asks Mrs. Minton. They'll keep you going till lunchtime, I'm sure. Oh, yes, that would be most welcome, Mrs. Minton. Thank you. Well, I must get on with my round now, Mrs. Minton. I still have post boxes that need emptying, and I've lots of post to deliver, including your letter to Nibs. Thank you again, Peter, for taking my letter, says Mrs. Minton. I've managed to complete all my morning tasks now, so I can go home and start my baking. Bye-bye, Mrs. Minton, and thank you for the fruity snack. Goodbye, Peter. Dora is happy that she's completed her morning tasks. Her newly stamped letter to Nibs is presently in Peter the postman's sack and will soon be in Nibs' hand. She's collected Chippy's magazine from Mrs. Dingle, the postmistress, and Mr. Tripp the milkman has no doubt left the extra milk and eggs at Dora's cottage door. All in all, a successful morning, Dora. So, are you heading home now? For an afternoon of baking pies for Chippy and Farmer Bell and his wife. Well, we'll let you get on now, Mrs. Minton. Goodbye.